Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Wolvenreign. This is part 6 of our Magic and Dust Commission. Thank you for tuning in. A lot of students of varying races were sitting around, chatting and mingling on board a massive transport ship. Sapphire and Ruby were standing with Yang talking about how excited they were, while Blake and her brother Robert were looking around at all the humans and elves around them. One of the humans looked sickly as the vehicle moved through the air. Proventus sat towards the rear of the vessel, chatting with a small group of other first years. A news report was chattering in the background, the news anchor speaking of the recent pro-Faunus protests. The broadcast was cut, replaced with a video feed showing a proper-looking blonde woman. "Welcome to Beacon," spoke the woman. "Who's she?" Yang inquired. "My name is Glinda Goodwitch." "Oh. You are among a privileged few who have received the knowledge and the honor of being selected to attend this prestigious academy. Our world is experiencing an incredible time of peace, and as future huntsmen and huntresses, it is your duty to uphold it. You have demonstrated the courage needed for such a task, and now it is our turn to provide you with the knowledge and the training to protect our world," Glinda informed the students. After several minutes, Beacon came into view and the enormous vessel set down near the school, its passengers then starting to disembark. The first years made their way off the ship, a certain blonde doing so rather quickly. The trio of siblings stepped down onto the tarmac of the landing pad, taking in the view of Beacon from the ground. Sapphire swept the crowded plaza with his eyes, looking to see if he knew any of the faces within the crowd. The only one who looked familiar was a muscular teen that Yang had gone to school with named Proventus. The blue-haired boy realized that his siblings had all kept walking and he stopped, Yang disappearing into the crowd and Ruby off doing her thing. He shrugged, then he made his way towards the school, stopping to chat with a small clump of friendly students who called him over. Proventus walked among his peers, towering over all but a few of the students. He joined a cluster of students who were investigating the arrival of a bullhead bearing the Schnee Dust Company insignia. A short, white-haired girl with startlingly blue eyes was shouting orders at some mechanical servant that were unloading her luggage. Another figure, male, slightly taller, with oddly pink eyes, was carrying his own luggage off the ship, shaking his head at the girl's behavior. Proventus finally recognized the pair as Weiss and Herschel Schnee, the renowned heiress and her more reclusive twin brother. The large teen had heard that the heiress was rather cold, but that her twin was kinder by comparison, though still distant. He approached the white-haired boy. "Is she always so shrill?" he asked. "Unfortunately, yes. Wait, do I know you?" No, you do not. My name is Proventus Sterling, and you are the well-known Herschel Schnee. I must say, it's a pleasure to meet you," he said, extending a hand for the teen to shake. Herschel hesitated before accepting the gesture and shaking the larger boy's hand. "Nice to meet you." The four boys would all make their way into the grand entrance of the school for Ozpin's speech before being ushered off into the great hall, where they were to sleep for the night. Robert noticed the Schnee heiress pass him by on the way in. Part of him wanted to gut her like a pig, but the ancient voice in his mind told him that it would only cause more trouble, so he stayed his hand. A few hours later, the initiates of Beacon Academy were in the Great Hall, the sexes segregated to either side of it. It was some kind of magnetism that drew the four reincarnated souls together. Vavesinderil stood off toward the door, having volunteered to supervise the new students before curfew. He watched the four teens approach each other. Proventus introducing young Sapphire to the talented Schnee mage, before he tackled the challenge of socializing with the reclusive assassin who was sitting in his own in some corner. The ancient elf chuckled to himself, finding amusement in a joke that only he knew. He could sense the previously dormant powers within each boy stirring, ancestral abilities reacting to each other. Azura had spoken to him, telling him of the four he watched, not revealing their names, but giving glimpses of their faces within a dream. She also imparted the knowledge that they had held ancient power that had not been seen on Nirn in centuries. Proventus had managed to get the assassin to speak with him. What of, Vaves could not tell, but the two discussed it eagerly. The hour for sleep had arrived. one of the other staff members calling for lights out. The students settled in and the lights were shut off, all of them excited or nervous for the coming day and the test that came with it.